Hey, what's up, Crypto Land? Black Crypto here, bringing another cryptocurrency video. And I was doing a little bit of cleaning out, and I found a whole bunch of different cards. I mean, a whole lot of different cards. I'm talking about a FedEx Kinko card, a Visa card, a Burger King food card, a casino card. One of the things I realized is that I have a lot of Bitcoin, but I don't have any kind of credit or any kind of good credit. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about how you may be a person that actually owns Bitcoin, but you still need to focus on your credit because it goes hand in hand. I mean, if you have cash, right, you're still going to be using credit, whether you have a credit card, for instance, you buy something and you pay it off a little bit later. Even if you have Bitcoin, you're going to still need the same thing. And that's one of the things that I'm realizing, especially in my personal life, if I want to definitely do a lot of things, if I want to own a home or if I want to get a car with the best interest rates, all of that has to do with my credit. So that's what I'm going to be talking about in this video in terms of how having Bitcoin and credit still goes hand in hand. Stick around. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about credit. Now, credit is something that you want to have if you're doing any kind of financial planning and you want to grow in the future. Now, when I talk about grow, I'm talking about you in your personal situation. Whether that's you want to get a newer car, you want to upgrade that car, whether you want to get a new home, upgrade your living situation, whether you want to get a credit card. When it comes to credit, you can buy a product and then pay for it later. That's you buying it on credit, and usually you'll do that by some type of credit card. Now, when it comes to credit, we're not talking about credit, we're talking about a credit score. And this is one of the most important things that a person that's giving you that credit will look at to determine whether or not they should even give you that credit at all. Now, when it comes to your credit score, we're talking about a score that is a lender's assessment of your risk. This lender is going to look at this score, better known as a FICO score, and look at it and say, hey, let me see whether or not this person has a history of making good payments. They have a good collection of different types of accounts, and this person is trustworthy. When it comes to this FICO score, you want to have a score anywhere between 450 and 850. Of course, not on the low end. If you have it on the low end, that's considered you having bad credit. If you have it on the higher end, that's you having good credit. Of course, you walk around and you see people with Mercedes-Benz and Lamborghinis and things of that nature, and you're saying, you know what, those people all have great credit. Or, somebody that has a very nice fancy home and they can pay for it, they have very nice credit. But that doesn't really mean they all have good credit, and you in a smaller home or with a smaller car do not have great credit, because you can also have great credit in those situations as well. Now, when it comes to me, I'm going to be very transparent in terms of my credit and what my credit score is, what I'm trying to do with my credit as I try to build up my credit, because I have plans on getting a newer car or getting a home. So I want to make my credit a lot more stronger. Not only that, there's a lot of different things that I'm going to be showing you over the course of the year in terms of credit, in terms of building your credit, in terms of also applying that to different strategies where you can use that to acquire Bitcoins. So yes, you can definitely use credit to get Bitcoin. That's one of the great things about the financial system. Of course, just the way that you use cash, you can use Bitcoins. And that's what I'm going to be showing you in a lot of different videos coming up in the future, where I'll be breaking down exactly how you will buy Bitcoins and different methods that you can actually go ahead and buy Bitcoins. And then that goes back and returns to what I was saying in terms of myself, where I own a lot of Bitcoins, but I don't have any kind of good credit. So that's what made me think that I need to start boosting my credit, because if I want to do something with my Bitcoins in the future, it really wouldn't make sense for me to go in there and say, hey, I can pay for cash, I can pay Bitcoin, I can do all of these things, because there are some things that you will not be able to just buy right out. Or it wouldn't be a smart choice to buy something fully out. Let's just say I had wanted $1 million house and I had $1 million worth of Bitcoin. Yes, technically I can go and just say I want to go and buy that home right out, but a smarter play might be, hey, I might need to get a mortgage and go ahead and make payments on this home. I can maybe make that first payment in Bitcoins if my mortgage company or bank starts accepting Bitcoins, which I'm sure they will be doing in the future. And there are a lot of different places that are talking about that right now. So if I can pay with Bitcoin, that would be great, but my credit as my personal credit and credit score is still going to come into effect, and I can't get around that. You can't get around that, and that's why you're still going to have to focus on building up your credit score. Now, when it comes to your credit score or your FICO score, you have a range from 450 to 850 that will determine that bad credit and that good credit. And in some cases, you may not have no credit at all. Now, when it comes to this particular score, it's pretty much weighted and determined by a few different factors. Now, this can be in terms of the amount of debt that you owe on your credit. It could also mean in terms of your utilization and how you're using that particular amount of debt, and in terms of your payment history as well. Are you responsible? Are you making your payments on time? Not only that, in terms of your credit mix, where you want to have different things on your credit, for instance, a mortgage, a car loan, a credit card, this credit mix, that also determines a little bit in terms of your actual credit score as well. So there are a lot of different factors that determines your credit score, whether you not have new accounts or old accounts, have they been closed, when they were closed. There are so many different factors that determines this credit score, but you want to pay close attention to what's on it, and that's the most important thing. Now, you have 3 different credit bureaus. For instance, you have Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion. These are the 3 main credit bureaus that report your credit and your credit score. When I say report your credit, that means what is on your credit, the actual accounts on your credit. Now, they all may also show your credit score in terms of weighted between all of those particular ones. Now, each particular credit bureau has their own credit score that they go by, and depending on the particular lender, they will go to one or all of them for your credit score. Now that you have the mindset that you want to build up your credit and you want to build up your credit score, what do? One of the first steps that you want to do is to get your hands on your credit report. You want to know what's on your credit. You want to know, hey, is there something on your credit that isn't supposed to be there and you might want to dispute it? Or you want to just know what's on your credit so you can know what can you add to your credit that can hopefully help build up your credit score. Now, when it comes to you getting your credit report, there are 2 basic ways that you can get your credit report. One of the main ways is a physical way. If you go to annualcreditreport.com, you can go ahead and order for free 1 per year over there, Annual Credit Report. Or for a fee, you can go over to the credit bureaus, which is Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion, and order your credit report over there. Now, if you're anything like me, then you love apps, and of course you want it for free, and you should be able to monitor your own credit score and your credit for free. 2 of the best apps that I recommend for that, in terms of recommending for looking at your credit score and looking at your credit report, is Credit Sesame, and the one that I use on a daily basis is Credit Karma. Now, I said to you I was going to be very transparent. This is what I want to do. I want to show you my credit and what's on my credit, and show you what I'm doing to build up my credit in the future so that you can see what's happening, also as I'm recommending different products to you and showing you that these products are working to build up my credit, so you can go ahead and use these products as well and start building up your credit also. What I'm going to do now is show you what's on my credit so I can show you my credit score and show you what I'm planning to do when it comes to building my credit up. I use the Credit Karma app, so just go to your app store and download Credit Karma. Now, when you go to the Credit Karma app and you open it up, you're going to start looking at your credit score to see what your credit score is. As you see, my credit score is about a 558 for TransUnion, and in terms of Equifax is about a 635. Now, that's not exactly bad credit, but it isn't good credit also. If you go on the home page here, you can see a lot of different things that will show you some recommendations in terms of things that you can do in terms of building your credit as well. Now that we know what your score is by looking on the home page of the Credit Karma app, you can take a deeper dive to see exactly what's on your credit report. Now, the 2 credit bureaus that work with Credit Karma is TransUnion and Equifax. So these are the ones that you can go and check out what's on your credit report and possibly dispute what's on there, or know what you might need to add on there to start boosting up your score. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to go ahead and check out TransUnion, and you can see as January 1st I have this score. And if I go over here to the Equifax, you can see I have a 635, and I'm only a few points away from fair credit. Now, why do I have these scores, or why are they particularly different? So let's check out and see what's on my TransUnion. As you can see here, I pretty much only have 2 derogatory marks. Now, this is pretty much just a collection. Now, it's really one collection with 2 different fees adding up to $200 in terms of a medical bill. But, this is something I'm also disputing, and hopefully this will be off of my report very soon, or we're going to be going through some kind of dispute to try to see what's going to happen with this. I mean, hopefully my score is going to go up because of that. Now, if I go over here to my Equifax, we can see here that I really don't have anything that's bad that's on this account. But what I do have is a credit card, which is maxed out right now, but I have 100% payment history, good payments, which makes my score still very high. So on one, I have in terms of basically collection of derogatory marks, and that's what brings my score all the way down. On the other one, I don't have that, but I am using that in terms of having a credit card on that account. So if I want to start boosting up my credit score, one of the things that I really want to start focusing on is TransUnion. So this is one of the things that you want to do. Of course, you have different scores for it depending on the bureau. But when you know what you have and what you're working with, you can know how to attack it. So I know that I need to start working towards TransUnion. So any kind of services that I go out there and I want to start boosting up my score, I want to make sure that those services are going to report to a specific credit bureau. And because I'm working on building up these 2 scores, I'm going to be looking for services that work specifically with Equifax and TransUnion. Now, there are a lot of services that work with all 3. There are services that work with only one specifically. So you're going to have to look at your report, look at your score, and look at the different services to see which one you should use. Let's think about this for a second now. Do you own a credit card out there? You probably have a credit card. You're probably buying something on your credit card and then paying for it a little bit later. Now, I do not recommend this whatsoever, but you can use your credit card to go and pay for Bitcoins. Now, I don't recommend this whatsoever. I am not a financial advisor. Please invest at your own risk. I had a friend that actually went out there and got a credit card just to go and buy Bitcoin. And then Bitcoin pretty much crashed and they lost all that money and they had to pay that back and they went into a big financial turmoil. So this is something I really recommend you not do in terms of paying for Bitcoin with credit. If you have the cash on hand, you pay for that Bitcoin in terms of exchange for that Bitcoin on hand. Never use credit. But if you do use credit, then what you want to do is make sure you want to be in the best possible position where you're not using all of your credit. You want to use in terms of a low amount of your credit. And this is one of the ways that you can boost up your credit in terms of getting a credit card. Let's just say you have a $1,000 credit card. Don't go out there and buy $1,000 worth of Bitcoin. The most you want to put on that card is about 10%. A lot of people say, you want to keep it under 30% in terms of your utilization. Of course, when you max out your credit card, that's you using over or 100% of your credit card. But you want to keep that utilization very, very low. And in terms of keeping your utilization very low in terms of buying Bitcoins, if you were to use a credit card, you would only buy maybe $100 worth or maybe $50 worth, and that's it. Do not max out your card trying to buy that. And do not try to boost up your credit score just so you can get a higher limit credit card so you can go and buy some Bitcoin. Never do that. That's a dangerous game. You never know. You can never play this game in terms of pricing Bitcoin or anticipating the market, because this is so brand new. One day it can be going up and you can buy it because you see it going up, and next thing you know, it crashes and you lose all of your money. Please invest at your own risk. So what does this all have to do with Bitcoin and credit? I mean, when it comes to Bitcoin and when it comes to credit, they do go hand in hand. Like I said, if I want to be a person that gets a car or gets a house or anything like that, I'm going to still need credit no matter how I pay for it, whether or not I have Bitcoin or whether or not I have cash. So credit is going to be something that's very important to you. And this is one of the reasons why I'm going to start talking a little bit more about credit on here, because not only do I want to teach you a little bit more about what Bitcoin is and the basis of cryptocurrency, but I want to show you why people are using Bitcoin in the first place. It's become your own bank, right? Start taking your finances in your own hand in terms of your financial future and in terms of you building generational wealth. And one of the ways, the best way, and you cannot do it without it, is building your credit and utilizing your credit in the future. And this goes very much hand in hand. So I'm going to be bringing a whole lot more videos to you in terms of credit, what I'm doing with my credit. So hopefully that can inspire you in terms of building up your credit, and also using that with also you getting Bitcoin and finding yourself in a whole new financial situation probably in a year from now. Hopefully I will be in a new financial situation in a year from now. We're going to see. I want you to follow along with me. If you like this video, make sure you give this video a thumbs up. Make sure you go ahead and also hit that subscribe button, hit that bell so you'll be notified anytime I release any new videos right here on my channel. Guys, I'm Black Crypto. Oh, make sure you go ahead and stop over to my Instagram and my Twitter, which is BLK Crypto. And I see you guys in the next video.